Welcome back, dear friends. Thank you for joining us again on this journey through ancient wisdom and modern transformation. In today's exploration, we will go deeper into the timeless teachings of the Buddha and examine the profound truth behind a principle that sounds simple but contains infinite depth. To speak good words, hold good intentions, and do good deeds. Is it truly possible that this can transform your life? Is it more than just a feel-good phrase or religious consolation? Now let's find out together. When you hear someone say, speak good words, hold good intentions, and do good deeds, what comes to mind? Perhaps you think it's a proverb, a moral guideline for children, or a religious ideal that's not practical in today's competitive world. But what if I told you that this Trishta is not just ethical advice, but a spiritual technology, a mechanism that influences your mental state, your relationships, your energy field, and even the unfolding of events in your life? That's exactly what the Buddha understood and revealed over 2,500 years ago. And modern science, psychology, and even quantum theories are beginning to echo this ancient insight. Let's begin with the first principle: speak good words. Language is the most frequently used tool in our interaction with the world. From the moment we wake up, we're speaking to our family, our coworkers, our friends, and even silently, to ourselves. What many fail to realize is that every word we utter carries energy. Words are not merely sounds, they are vibrations that affect both the speaker and the listener. Imagine waking up and saying, "Fuck, it is going to be awful." Now imagine saying, "That a day is a new chance for joy." These two phrases set the tone not just for your mood but for your neurological and emotional wiring throughout the day. This isn't just spiritual fluff. Neuroscience calls this the language priming effect, where repeated language patterns can shape belief, perception, and behavior. If you constantly tell yourself you're unlucky, incapable, or undeserving, these words dig grooves into your psyche, becoming your self-fulfilling reality. That's why the Buddha taught us to practice right speech, words that are true, kind, helpful, and timely. Speaking good words is not simply about being polite. It's a method of sowing good karmic seeds that eventually yield positive outcomes. It creates harmony, builds trust, and elevates the energy of both the speaker and the recipient. Next, we come to the second pillar: hold good intentions. Thoughts are subtle, but potent. In Buddhism, the mind is considered the foreigner of all things. All that we are is the result of what we have thought. If your mind is filled with resentment, jealousy, anger, or pessimism, these internal states will shape your perception of the world. You will see entities where there are none, fear where there is safety, and scarcity where there is abundance. On the other hand, a mind that is cultivated with kindness, compassion, gratitude, and generosity becomes a powerful magnet for peace and joy. One of the most profound statements in Buddhist psychology is that everything is mind-made. What you experience externally is a reflection of your internal atmosphere. Take a moment and reflect. How do you speak to yourself in your mind? Are you critical, fearful, or impatient? Or do you offer yourself grace, patience, and encouragement? The intentions we hold are not invisible. They manifest through our tone, our posture, our decisions, and our relationships. They are the silent architects of our destiny. Now, let's move to the third practice: do good deeds. Good speech and good thoughts are powerful, but it is only when we act that we truly transform the world around us. Action is the bridge between internal goodness and external impact. And the most amazing thing, you don't need to change the world overnight. You don't need millions of dollars or global fame. Small acts of goodness, like helping a neighbor carry groceries, smiling at a stranger, volunteering your time, or simply listening attentively, can have ripple effects far beyond your imagination. Here's a story of a young man who passed by an old lady selling flowers every day on his way to work. He rarely had customers, and she moved slowly. Although he wasn't wealthy, he made it a habit to buy a small bunch each morning and wish her a good day. One day, he lost his job and walked past her in despair. The lady gave him a small piece of paper. It was her grandson's contact. Her grandson owned a company and is hiring. That single act of daily kindness turned into an opportunity that changed his life. What does this tell us? Then deeds are like planting seeds in a vast field. You may not see the fruit immediately, but the universe keeps count. The Buddha wasn't preaching superstition when he spoke of karma. He was explaining a universal law of cause and effect that is as real and operational as gravity. When good creates momentum, builds a reservoir of goodwill. It elevates your frequency. It surrounds you with synchronicities, opportunities, and support. And most importantly, it transforms you. You become the kind of person who feels peaceful, who attracts kindness, who overcomes adversity not with fear, but with quiet power. Let's also address a common misunderstanding. Many people believe that speaking good words, holding good intentions, and doing good deeds should guarantee instant rewards. They wonder, I've been kind, so why is my life still difficult? Here's the truth. Karma is not a vending machine. It doesn't operate on your timetable. It works on the principle of right conditions. Seed planted today needs water, sunlight, and time. If you keep nourishing your spiritual field, your harvest will come not always in the way you expect, but always in the way you need. Moreover, the fruits of goodness are not always tangible. Often, they come in the form of emotional resilience, inner clarity, deep contentment, and the ability to weather storms without being shattered. These are the true treasures of life. The peace that comes from living with integrity and compassion is priceless. Any spiritual masters, including the Buddha, emphasized that the greatest transformation happens not in some far-off future but in the present moment. Every moment you choose to speak gently instead of harshly, to hold compassion instead of anger, to act with generosity instead of greed, you are shifting your karma. You are rewriting your story. You are turning the wheel of destiny. So, is the teaching, speak good words, hold good intentions, and do good deeds, just a slogan? It is a spiritual algorithm. It is a living, breathing map to freedom, joy, and meaningful connection. It is your key to becoming a lighthouse in a world often clouded with confusion and mess. And this is not about perfection. We all have moments of anger, doubt, and selfishness. But the point is to return, again and again, to center yourself in the practice, to speak with love even when it's difficult, to think kindly even when provoked, to do good even when it goes unnoticed. When you live this way, you will notice something extraordinary. Your world begins to change. People respond to you differently. You attract help when you need it. You feel lighter, clearer, freer, and above all, you feel whole. That's not superstition. That's alignment with the deepest laws of life. So, my dear friend, are you ready to begin today? Are you ready to speak light into darkness, to hold love in the midst of judgment, to walk the earth with compassion in your hands? The time is now. The power is within you. The universe is waiting for your next kind word, your next noble thought, your next generous deed. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of this journey. Please like, subscribe, and share this with someone who might need this message today. And don't forget to leave a comment. Share your experience of a moment when a kind word or deed changed your life. Let's build a community of conscious creators together. Thank you for watching this video.